Pastor, how are you today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Doing great, thank you. Well, 10 years is a great reason for celebration. There's lots to be thankful for. How did you get started with Teen Challenge?
Well, I can definitely tell you that nothing like this was on the radar when I was growing up. As a young kid, no one was in ministry in my family. We never really went to church a whole lot. So being an only child growing up, I was just kind of like running around, I guess, being what you'd call normal. And I guess I did well in high school and in college like other kids. But everywhere I went, addiction seemed to start to follow me. I got caught up in drinking, and then ultimately the last couple of years prior to going to Teen Challenge as a student with drugs. There was a divorce, there were miles of wreckage, to be honest. And as a last-ditch effort to save my life, I went to Teen Challenge in San Antonio to a men's center and found the meaning of life. And to cap it off, I met the love of my life, my wife, Kim Flanagan. In fact, her and I both got well as students on that particular campus. And, I prayed to the Lord for a marriage, a wife, and a family. And that's what he gave me. She has two beautiful little girls, and they were 4 and 6 years old.
So how did you and Kim start on your own, starting Teen Challenges?
We opened a Teen Challenge Center in Houston as our first assignment in full-time ministry. I mean, you talk about newlyweds right out of the gate, just green as can be. But the Lord blessed that. And after a couple of years, the Lord called us to go open our own Teen Challenge Center from scratch in Arkansas. We noticed that of all the teen challenges across the country, of the over 200 of them, there were none for adult women in the state of Arkansas, in the state of Missouri at the time, even the state of Nebraska. So we felt called to go fulfill a need that the Lord may have, and went to Arkansas to open our first women's center. Then our second center, the Lord called us to open about a year after our first center, was Springfield, Missouri. Then a year later, Knoxville, Tennessee. Then about a year later, Brandon, Mississippi. When we opened the Brandon, Mississippi Center, we had an opportunity to move down here and to raise our girls full time. That's been one of the joys of my life, to be able to see my wife raising her daughters. It's making me admire her and fall in love with her all over again. Our families were in full support of us venturing out in ministry. Even though it was a little scary, they were all behind us.
And what about some of the opportunities you've been able to be a part of by being in ministry?
The opportunities have been amazing.
What about the people that you've been able to meet through ministry?
The people that the Lord has led me to meet and even be mentored by along the way has been pretty tremendous. And we've been really fortunate to have some amazing team members along the way. They're almost like family. There's Kate Riggs, who went from an entry-level bookkeeper position with us to getting her bachelor's, then getting her master's in business while working here. In fact, she kind of, in my opinion, shows herself worthy of CFO of the Year. She's been fantastic for us. She specializes in leadership training. In fact, she's taken the leadership concept and kind of engulfed herself into it in a professional level. Then there's the amazing servant Ray Clark, who helped us evolve from 101 ways to make a nail cross to help his obsessed pastor find a completely new way of making products. Kim Boulding has been such a loyal superstar from the very beginning. She's been with us for about 12 years now. She's always willing, and she always says yes with whatever we need. She's such a servant in this ministry.
Pastor, did you ever dream that it would be something this size?
I was never really going for size. I was following God to the next step I felt He wanted us to go. You know, His Word says to seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So we were just kind of seeking Him. We just kept growing and growing and growing. And what ended up being in 4 different states, 7 centers, and 3 thrift stores, a shop, and 2 corporate offices later ends up being a ministry that God has built despite ourselves. And while we may be a crazy group, it's our group. It's our family. We try to fit in a little bit of fun anytime we can.
Hey, my name is Kate Riggs. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Teen Challenge Women's Ministries, and I just want to congratulate you guys on the choice that you have made to come into the program. Teen Challenge has done a lot for me. I didn't go through the program like what you guys are doing right now, but I did join Teen Challenge almost 9 years ago, and through that, God has restored everything to me. I had lost everything. I made some bad choices, and I wound up losing my family, my home, my vehicle, I mean literally everything. And over the last 9 years almost, God has given all of that back. You know, the biggest thing that has helped me and that has changed my life is my relationship with God since I came to Teen Challenge. I love God. I have an intimate relationship with God. It's nothing like what I had before. I have peace and joy and love and things that I just didn't even think really truly existed. God has given me those things and has shown me so much. So that's available to you. So what is it that God has placed in your heart? What's the dream He's placed in your heart? Understand that we will help you to achieve that. We will help you get that. Just let us know. This is more than a 13-month residential program. This is a program that literally is the stage for the rest of your life. It can catapult you into whatever it is that God has called you to do, and we want to help you to get that.
Well, I am currently the Chief Marketing Officer for our corporate offices, and I started back in 2006 as a student in Teen Challenge in Houston, Texas, where Pastor Kim and Jarrod Flanagan were my directors at that time. And when I came to Teen Challenge, I was homeless, I was eating out of dumpsters, and I'd lost my family. As I went through the program, I just can remember the passion that Pastor and Miss Kim had for the lives of these ladies. And it began to resonate into my heart. I'm like, you know what? I want to do this. And God, if you'll save me and just give me a relationship with my children, I will do this for the rest of my life, helping ladies. My heart is still the ladies. It's leading ladies to have a successful life, clean and sober for the rest of their life. This is the next chapter. It's hard, but it's worth it.
What I'm so excited about is not only the more than 120 students that we're commonly helping at one time, but how about the 50 plus people that are on our staff that are staying sober as well. So many are getting sober, many are staying sober. It's a far cry from just maybe the glimmer in our eye that we had back in 2008 when we barely started. I'm so thankful for the Lord and His protection and His power that's really been shown along the way. At one time, very early, I thought maybe I would be like the pastor of a church. And if you look around when we're all together, like at our annual conferences, I can see that He's built that church.
Pastor, thank you so much for your time today. I've enjoyed being able to find out everything about the ministry. It's so interesting, and we're looking for another great 10 years and beyond.